record on this computer. Yay! So welcome to our Monday night call. I'm so excited to have you guys here tonight. And I'm excited for those that are here right now specifically because you guys were not able to come Saturday to the training. And part of what we're going to be talking about tonight is part of what we went over on Saturday. So I am looking forward to sharing some things with you. And so I just want to go ahead and dive in because there's a few things announcement-wise that we'll go through towards the end, like the incentives, the double building business bonuses, all of that kind of stuff. And I have some special prizes that we're going to be doing the rest of the month and some extra incentives from our team. So definitely want to share that with you guys as well. Bella, stop. Ah, my dog's chewing on something down here. Okay. So wanted to talk to you guys about mindset and belief. Okay, so I am going to want your interaction tonight in the chat, or if you want to unmute, however you want to communicate, it's fine. But when we think about belief and our mindset, we have between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. Between 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts a day. I think women probably have a lot more thoughts going on in their head than some of the guys because we just overanalyze everything. And we're multitaskers, always thinking multiple things at once. And so statistically, and studies have shown that out of those 12 to 60,000 thoughts, that 85% of them are on repeat. And out of those repeating thoughts, 95% of those are negative. So I want you to think about that for a second. So between 12 and 60,000 thoughts are going through your head. And I want to make sure I got that statistic right. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And so sorry, I take that back. 80% of the thoughts are negative and 95% of our thoughts are repetitive. So 80% of our thoughts are negative and 95% are repetitive. So that means we are sitting and telling ourselves negative things all day long. So if you think about it, you say, well, you know, I'm an optimistic person, and I pretty much am. I mean, I'm pretty positive. I see the good in people. I see the good in situations. I don't automatically jump to the negative, you know, or pessimistic, you know, attitude or anything like that. But even in that, I can still have negative thoughts. And those negative thoughts will go on repeat in your mind. And so they'll start telling you things like, you know, nobody wants these products. Nobody's watching my posts. Nobody wants the business. I can't do this. I'm not a good leader. I don't want to be salesy. All kinds of things. So your mind will start to put things on you. And so those of you that are just now joining, I was talking about how many thoughts we have a day. We have between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. And out of those thoughts, 80% of them are negative and 95% of those are on repeat all day long in our minds. And so the importance of being able to recognize that, self-coach, and stop your negative thoughts is key to anything in life, guys, not just your Plexus business. But when you think of managing your money, losing weight, when you think of, you know, your finances, when you think of, I'm trying to think of other things, you know, situations. Maybe somebody at church said something about you, or you heard, you know, so-and-so in the family said this or whatever, and you begin to mull those things over, it can literally stop you in your tracks. So what I wanted to show you was a few things and patterns tonight on what we do when we think negatively, okay? So I'm just going to use this because I didn't have my other camera, so we're just going to draw here. Is that good? Okay. So I want you to think, somebody type in the chat, give me a negative thought that you tend to think, or that someone would think, even if it's not you. Give me a negative thought in the chat, something that you think people may think about themselves, about the business. Okay, I'm not good enough. Okay, I'm not good enough. So give me a circumstance of I'm not good enough. Give me a circumstance. Why would they be thinking that?
Because people are not buying from them, or they're not succeeding in their business or in their daily life, maybe at work or whatever. I can talk faster than I can type. So
Yeah,
those are situations, and that tends to, okay, well, something must be wrong with me. I must not be good enough at this. So
okay. So let's just take that. So let's say that not succeeding the way that they want to. Okay. Not meeting a goal, something like that, right? So they're not succeeding. So that thought, right, is that I'm not good enough, right? And so the circumstance with I'm not succeeding or I'm not good enough may be I didn't re-rank this month, right? So maybe I'm going backwards in points, okay? Okay. So maybe they're going backwards. So going backwards, you're not really going to be able to see this. So I'm just not even going to write it, but y'all can imagine with me, okay? Going backwards, though, is the actual circumstance, okay? So maybe they had 50 points last month, and this month they have 30 points, and they think, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm not succeeding, right? Now, that's the actual fact, is their points. Now, what's happened is with that fact, it created the thought of I'm not succeeding, I'm not good enough. What are the feelings that come from that thought? Somebody type it in or let me tell me. What are the feelings that come with that of I'm not good enough or I'm not succeeding?
you doubt yourself.
Okay, so doubt.
Yeah. Failure. That you won't ever have success. I mean, the list could go on and on.
Yeah. So is that disappointment?
Yeah.
Frustration? Like, what are our feelings around that, right? So then when you think about, okay, I didn't have a point, I'm not good enough, not successful, you're feeling frustrated, you have doubt, you're feeling like a failure, all of these things. What action or inaction does that then cause you to do?
You stop. You don't move forward. You will not progress. You stand still, or you go backwards in anything that you do.
And then what's the result of that?
You don't succeed. You give up.
Exactly.
You stop.
So then so what you just did in that circumstance is you just found evidence for your brain to prove, quote, quote, that you were unsuccessful. Does that make sense? So the situation happened that was neither positive nor negative. It was just a fact that happened. You went to a negative thought about it, which created negative emotions, which then stopped your progress, which then gave proof and evidence to your brain of the original thought on the circumstance. Does that make sense? So what you've done is you've gotten into a cycle because your brain is going to look for evidence. Your brain is going to start listing evidence because the opposite of that thought is the unknown. The opposite of that thought is a challenge. The opposite of that thought is maybe I need to learn something. Maybe there's a skill set. Maybe I just need to trust the process and keep doing what I'm doing, knowing that it's going to pay off. Maybe there's patience that's being developed there. So there's a whole lot of other things that can be happening and going on, but your brain is all of that is unknown. So because that's unknown, remember that safety mechanism that we talk about, like the walking through the dark parking lot? Your brain is unknown, so it sees it as danger. So it automatically goes back to what it thinks is known, which is, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. It's not going to work. So then, again, negative emotions causes you to stop what you're doing, which then gives your brain evidence that you can't do it. Versus the other side, and that's where we need to start rewiring our brains. That's where we have to stop ourselves and say, okay, And I'm going to teach you a thing called S.T.O.P here in a second, where you can evaluate your thought and see if it's a negative one. Okay. So I want you to think of, are you okay, Bella? My dog's like breathing really funny down here. Okay, girl? I don't know if she got allergies or what. Okay. So I want you to think of this circumstance. Okay. If it's 1 o'clock in the morning and the phone rings, all that's happened is the phone has rung. That's it. 1 o'clock in the morning and ring, ring. Now, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to hear the phone ring, and you're going to sit up in bed and go, oh my gosh, who is that? Why are they calling this early in the morning? Oh my gosh, who's in a car wreck? Is this the police? I don't even know. And you're going to sit there and immediately go into all of this panic, right? Which is then going to do what? It's going to create anxiety. Your heart's going to start pounding. You're going to get sick feeling in your stomach. Your chest is going to get tight. All of these physical things are happening. And all that's happened in actuality is the phone rang. You have not picked it up. You do not know the circumstance on the other end of the line. It could be Ed McMahon calling you, telling you that you've won Publishers Clearinghouse and he's just in the wrong time zone. You never know, but you are freaking out. Automatically, you're going to this panic place in your mind. And so therefore, all of this emotion is happening in your body, right? So then you answer the phone and it turns out to be your own number. And so then you lay down and what? You just go right back to sleep. No, you're laying there like, oh my stars, I thought that was just, oh, and your heart's still pounding and you're still having to calm yourself down, right? The only thing that happened was the phone rang. The other response that you could have to the phone ringing is, hey, my phone's ringing. I wonder who that is. I'm going to answer it. And then you answer it. The second response is a lot less stressful. The second response is, I'm really kind of annoyed that it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to say this, even though it's being recorded, but a couple of you heard me say this. One time, me and Chris, it was early on in our marriage, and the phone rang at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was really annoyed that the phone rang, and I answered it, and I said, somebody better be in the hospital or in jail. And they were like, is Chris Lackey there? And I'm like, who is this? And they're like, Wilson County Sheriff's Department. And one of his friends was in jail. Okay. But I mean, I was annoyed that the phone was ringing. I did not think automatically like bad. You know, I didn't think it was somebody in jail, but you know, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like something can happen. You can hear a car backfire outside and you can think, oh, that was just a car backfiring, no big deal. Or you can think, oh my gosh, a bomb just went off and the apocalypse is happening. Here come the zombies. Right? I mean, there's two different schools of thought about all of that. Even though the only factual thing that happened is a car backfired, right? So when we get into our tune with our business, and guys, I still struggle with this. This is not anything that I'm telling you that is like, you know, I've overcome it like I'm Sister Super Person over here, okay? Because it's not. I struggled today with reaching out to message somebody, okay? Because immediately my mind, it's an unknown. So immediately my mind's like, well, what are they going to think? What if they think I'm just after them because I want to make money off of them? What if they think that I really don't care about them and their health issue, but I'm just out trying to sell them some product, trying to push some plexus on them? What if blah, 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 right? So I can sit there and go through all of that, which is going to create anxiety. It's going to create fear. It's going to make me doubt myself. It's going to make me doubt my own motives and my heart in the situation. And then I'm going to stop and I'm never even going to message the person. Or I could say, what if this is exactly what they've been praying for? What if this is exactly what they need to hear from me today? What if this is an answer to the discussion that they were having with their spouse last night? What if this is that? What if this is the one thing that really helps this person to feel better and gets them their life back, right? So I can go down that path, And that's going to have me to take different actions. So therefore, when I message them, I'm either going to message them from a place of, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't think I'm crazy and I'm so nervous. And I can message them from that. Or I can message them from, you know what, I don't know if this is for you or not, but I believe this could be a great solution. Have you ever thought about this? So today, actually, I was listening to a call that Alita did with our mastermind group, and she said, if you're introducing the business opportunity to somebody and you're reaching out a cold message, okay, which we all should be doing, and she said, what if you're just inviting them to a phone conversation? She's like, there's not that much emotional investment in the message itself. You're just asking them, would you consider getting on the phone call with me? And if they say no, it's no big deal. So I reached out to one of my scary people today. And I said, hey, girl, you know that I love you and I've always wanted to work with you. And I think you would be amazing at what I do. I don't know if you're looking for extra streams of income, but would you consider getting on the phone with me for a few minutes and us having a conversation? That's all I said to her. You know what? She messaged me back a super polite no. It was very polite though. She was like, girl, I got my grandkid, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? We're still friends and it's cool. And I'm like, hey, I understand. When, you know, if anything ever changes, I would love to talk to you. We need to get together and have lunch anyway and just connect, right? And she was like, absolutely, I'd love to. So no hard feelings, no harm, no foul. But when I went at her to message her, it was from a place of, hey, I don't know if she's looking for this, but she would be so fun to work with. And this would be a really cool opportunity. And if it's a good time for her, maybe we can just chat on the phone and see if this is a fit. And if it's not, no big deal, right? So I didn't have a lot of emotional invested in it, but she was somebody I've had on my list for quite a while. And so I reached out to her today. So again, I could stop myself with all those negative thoughts, or I can stop those negative thoughts and go back and say, okay, what if this is a good thing for her? What if it's a fit, right? She still told me no. I still got a no today, but we're friends. And she said it so politely. She was not offended. She did not ghost me and not return my text, right? She actually responded to me today, not 5 days from now. She actually responded to me today and was very polite about it. So guys, when we're coming at things with the right attitude, different things come back at us, right? Again, I want to give you another scenario, okay? And then we're going to talk about how to stop this, okay? So another scenario is I'm posting and no one's responding. I'm not getting any likes on my post. It's crickets, okay? Somebody give me a thought that comes behind that. You've made a Facebook post, nobody comments, nobody likes. What's a thought that comes with that? Somebody type it in or unmute.
The first thing I think is I've said the wrong thing. I've not worded it correctly, or there's something about it that I need to change.
Okay. So what feeling, Gail, does that give you when you have that thought?
Well, of course, at first it is discouraging, you know, when you do put that post out there. But then it may take me a few days to really grasp that I need to work on it and go about a different approach, you know. But I don't really feel rejection on that. I feel rejection more when I talk to somebody and they're just not interested at all. That's when I really feel it.
I get that. And so, okay, I want to keep going down the post part, and then we can come back at the other part. So if you feel like, okay, I need to reword that, maybe I didn't say something right. So then you said you wait a couple of days maybe and try to reword it again. So the action that has already happened is what?
I'm discouraged because I don't feel like I can write a correct post to get the attention that I'm looking for.
Okay. And so then you've already delayed a couple of days because you're thinking, right? And so then what result is that giving you in that moment?
Well, it's kind of, it puts me behind, and then it becomes easier to ignore it or just let it go. And a lot of times it's just easier not to face it, I think, than to jump in there and really do the necessary work.
Right. Okay. That's great. That's great. So now I want you guys, if you've got notes, I want you to write this acronym down. Okay. So we're going to STOP is what it's called. S.T.O.P is the acronym. We're going to stop and we're going to walk back through this with Gail again. Okay. So the first letter is S. So I want you to ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is this thought serving me? And obviously in Gail's scenario here, she can't write a post, I can't word it right. Is that thought serving you, Gail? No, she's shaking her head no. Okay. So the next letter is T. Is this thought true? Is this thought true? No, it's really not. And even if she's thinking, well, it could be true, but it's really not. We're going to see why as we go through the letters here, okay? So you have to ask, is this thought true? Is it serving me? Is this true? Number 3 is the O. Am I overreacting? My response to this situation bigger than what is warranted? Am I overreacting to the scenario? Remember, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Right? You only have control over your actions. You don't have control over anything else. You have control over your actions and your response to things, okay? So am I overreacting? And then the last letter is P in STOP, and that is proof. What proof do I have that this is a true thought? What proof do I have? Okay, so as you're thinking of these things, when these thoughts come up and you know they're negative thoughts, you know they are creating feelings in you that are creating reactions that are not creating the scenario that you want. They're causing you to stop working your business. They're causing you to delay for days or weeks. They're causing you to not make that message or not do that reach out. You need to stop, S-T-O-P, and ask yourself, is this thought serving me? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be no. This is absolutely no help at all, right? This is not helping me in my business or meet my goals. Is it true? Most of the time, it is not true. Am I overreacting? Most of the time, you probably are overreacting, right? And proof. What proof do I have? So I told everyone a Saturday at the training, I said last Mother's Day, the Sunday before, I had a really rough day. Okay. It was horrible. Like I cried. Okay. I got to see my son for about 45 minutes at a restaurant. I felt like he had fit me in. We left the restaurant. I'm literally crying all the way to Home Depot. I'm crying in Home Depot. I got my glasses on. I mean, like it was a hot mess. Okay. Hot mess. So then I get home and I am sweeping the back patio and stuff, trying to keep myself busy. And I kept saying, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. Like I am grateful. I have a child. He's here. He's happy. He's healthy. Like I'm so grateful. And I kept trying to convince myself of this gratefulness that I had. Okay. And so then I was listening to a coaching segment that Kristen Boss was doing on my earpods, and she began to go through the STOP model. And I literally stopped and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, turn it off. So I cut off the podcast and I'm like, LaToya, is this thought serving you? No. You have wasted 2.5 hours feeling sorry for yourself and boohoo crying. So is this thought serving me on a beautiful Sunday afternoon? Absolutely no. It was sucking the joy out of my life, okay? Number 2, is this thought even true? No. Does your son love you, LaToya? Yes, he does. If I called him right now and needed a kidney, the boy would lay down and cut it out himself. He loves his mama, okay? Like, I know that, you know. Did he not want to spend time with me? Did he purposefully want to avoid me today? No. He is married and has other people. He has another woman and his wife that takes precedent over every other woman, and that's how it should be. I mean, he has other things going on. So it's like I had to rationalize what was happening. Is this making sense to you guys? Was I overreacting? Yes, I was overreacting. Did I have any proof that my son hated me and did not want to see me on Mother's Day? No, I did not. So immediately, just me taking 5 minutes on my back patio and talking out loud to myself and walking through this, I'm like, instantly, guys, I felt anxiety and stress leave my body. Instantly, I stopped crying. Instantly, my chest just like relaxed and opened up. I was like, okay, this is okay, right? This is not an unbelievable situation. This is not a tragedy. This is not an emergency. This is LaToya being wrapped up in her feelings because of a date on a calendar that says mother on it. Like, it's no different than the day before, the day after. It's just a date. Like, get a grip, LaToya, okay? So it's like once I did that, I got all my emotions out of the way and got rational with it. Is it serving me? Is it true? Am I overreacting? Do I have any proof? Once I went through that, guys, guess what? I did not cry the rest of the day. I was able to enjoy the rest of my day. If anything, I was annoyed at myself that I had allowed my emotional, crazy, overreactive, self-serving, depressed, feeling all neglected mind to rob 2.5 hours of my beautiful Sunday. I was mad at myself for letting it rob 2.5 hours. It took me 2.5 hours to ask myself, LaToya, is this start serving you? Right? So I want you to keep this handy, because when you have these thoughts come against you, and they will, how many of you had these thoughts today? You had some kind of limiting belief thoughts today, right? When you walk yourself through this, I'm telling you, it will free you up. It will free up your mind. So instead of Gail thinking, oh, nobody wants to read my post, blah, 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 what are some thoughts that she could be thinking about the post? Who wants to give me an idea? Anybody? What are some thoughts that she could be thinking about posting one time on Facebook and not having anybody comment or respond? What's a thought, Valerie, that she could have? Anything? Valerie's like, oh. So guys, what is, Gail, do you have one?
Yes. Well, the one thing I can think is maybe people are busy and they hadn't had time yet to read the post, or because sometimes I may go a couple of 2 or 3 days and not check mine and somehow miss somebody's post, and I have to go way down to find it. So that's one of the things that I can believe, that they just haven't seen it yet.
That's an excellent thought. Very, very true, right? Maybe they just haven't seen it. Also, how many of you saw a Facebook post today that you saw, you read, you did not like, and did not comment on it? I saw about 50 of them that I saw and I read, and I did not like, and I did not comment. I just kept on scrolling. Does that mean that I don't care? Does that mean I didn't actually read it? That I think that person's a lunatic? No. We're just busy. We have lives. Not everyone's sitting around waiting on you to post about plexus. Everybody says, I wonder if Gail's going to post today. I'm just so waiting on her to post that one post today. No, their life is not revolving around us, right? So also think, if it takes 8 to 12 or 12 to 18, whatever it is, impressions for someone to see something before they make a decision about buying, one post is not 18 impressions. And guess what? 18 posts is not 18 impressions, because I may only see 5 of those 18 posts. So you got a lot more to go before I get to number 18 and decide whether to buy, right? So we have to think entrepreneurially. We have to think long-term mindset. We are not selling, Gail, I know you're going to be selling some furniture and stuff as you're moving. Like, this is not a piece of furniture that you need it to get going right now and you need everybody to see it right now. That's not what this is, right? We are sowing seeds. We are creating awareness. We are creating a reputation. We are building a business. So every single time we're posting, whether it be about Plexus or just giving value to our community in some other way, every single time we're posting, we are building trust. We're creating impressions with them, right? So it would be a better thought to say, I need to post more. I need to stay consistent. That was one seed that was sown this week, right? Because I guarantee, guys, when I post on Plexus, the only people that like my posts are Plexus people. If then. I mean, let's be real. But you know what? How many of you, and it's happened to every single one of us on here, how many of you have had nobody like your post and then someone message you and say, hey, I want to know more about that? But they never did like it. They never did comment. And that's because they were watching you when you did not even know it, right? It's your storefront. You've opened the sign. You've turned on the lights in the building. You flipped the sign over in the door. That's what you did. So people are walking by. They know where the hardware store is located, okay? They know where to go when they're ready, and that's what they're going to do. So we want to be that resource for them, right? So you have to recreate that negative thought, because if you allow yourself to think, oh, I posted once and it didn't work, or I didn't word it right, or nobody cares, or whatever your story is that you tell yourself, and then you wait another week before you post again, what have you just done? You just created evidence that your audience can't trust you to be there. They don't know whether you're in or you're out, because they never know, because you're all over the place, right? You're not being consistent. Your algorithms are going to be all messed up because you're not being consistent posting every day, right? So all you're doing is giving more evidence that it's not working because you stopped working, right? So it's like we're doing this to ourselves, right? So I want you to do that, like do the stop thing, okay? And then another thing I want to tell you real quick, if you're taking notes, is there's a thing called a drama triangle, okay? And anytime that you're having these negative thoughts and things, your attitude is falling into one of these three categories. The first one is victim. Okay, if you're falling into victim category, you're asking questions like, why won't they return my call? Why won't my team do anything? Why won't so-and-so help me? Why? Okay, that's victim mentality. That is in the drama triangle, victim mentality. The way to overcome that, a victim mentality, is to ask how or what. So how can I help them? What can I learn to overcome this? How can I work around this problem, right? What do I need to do to fix this situation? That's how you overcome that. The second part of the triangle is persecutor or a bully, okay? I can't believe they did that. Can you believe she told me she wanted Plexus and then she cut off? I can't believe she did that. She told me she was going to check in with me all the time, and now she's ghosting me. I ain't even heard from her in 2 weeks. I can't believe she did that. That is persecutor. That is bully mentality. The antidote for bully mentality, what you can do to overcome that, is to get curious. This is where you ask why. I wonder why she hasn't returned my call. I wonder what's going on in her life. I wonder if she needs more information about something. I wonder how I can help her. Okay, so that's what, if you hear that bully voice in your head, that's where you need to go, is get curious around it. The third part is rescuer. The rescuer, it's the mommy bird syndrome. I'm going to love everybody. I'm going to do everything for them, and I'm going to make sure that everybody's perfectly happy, and don't anybody have to worry about anything, because I'm going to take care of everything, and I'm going to call your people, and I'm going to sign them up, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and everybody's going to be happy, because if I do everything and I keep everybody happy, then nobody will leave. And that is from a scarcity mindset. That is a scarcity mindset, okay? You will smother the chickens and they all die anyway, okay? Scarcity mindset. The way to overcome that, the antidote to the scarcity mindset, is to empower them, to teach them, and to let them fly. Because when you're operating from scarcity mindset, you're gripping it. I always think of that. Y'all remember that old Looney Tunes cartoon with the big dog, the Saint Bernard, and he's got Tweety Bird, and he's holding him. He's like, oh, I love it and pet it and call it George. And he's like squeezing Tweety Bird to death. Like, that's what you're doing. You're squeezing Tweety Bird to death. You just got to open up your hand, let Tweety Bird breathe a little bit, okay? And then Tweety Bird's going to be just fine. So that's where you're at, right? I love it. Y'all are all laughing at me because y'all know what I know. Okay. So those are the three things that y'all cracking me up. So those are the three areas that you may be in your mind. So if you're getting one of those areas, I want you to do the stop thing. Stop. Is it serving me? Is it true? Am I overreacting? What proof do I have? Okay. And then you can begin to go back and say, retrain your thoughts. If you find yourself doing this and you're like, but Latoya, I can't find the opposite of this. I can't think my way out of it. Message me, message Danielle, message a sideline and say, okay, I need help. Here's the thought I'm having. Talk me off the cliff. And that's what we're here for. I can't tell you how many times I message Alita and say, talk me off the cliff, girl. Here's my thought I'm struggling with, and I cannot dig around this one. I've done thought about it, and I don't know what it is. And she'll start asking me questions and help me dig around it. Just takes a couple of seconds, and then I'm like, all right, thank you. Woo, done. And then it's gone, okay? So I want you to because, guys, when we have these thoughts, they're stopping us in our business. They're stopping us from growing. They're stopping us in our relationships. We hear somebody said something about us and we get all upset and we call the gossip line and can you believe she said this? And all this drama happens instead of just stopping and saying, you know what? I wonder if that's even true. And if it is, I wonder why she thought that. Maybe I should call her and just nip it in the bud, right? So there's your big thought lesson for tonight. So yay, was that helpful? That helped some people? Is that good? Okay, good. Okay, so before we get off tonight, I want to tell you guys a few things. I do want to mention this real quick, and I am going to be honing in on this like all the time, but we're going to start talking about adding value on here. Okay, so adding value to everything we do. If you make a Facebook post, are you adding value to your audience? If you comment in a chat thread, are you adding value, right? So if I say, hey guys, we've got a call at 8 o'clock tonight, and then you're texting in and, you're like, well, I don't get off work until 7:55. Did that add value to the chat? No, you could have texted me that privately, right? Or, whatever. So like, you want to be thinking like, what adds value to the group? In every single chat that we're in, our chat groups, chats with our clients, with our customers, with our team, add value. So every single interaction that people have with us, we want them to leave feeling better, being inspired, being encouraged, right? Not saying that you can't have a bad day, but if you have a bad day, you call your upline and you talk it out, right? We don't get into the chats and do any of that stuff. So we're going to really be focusing and training our teams on adding value when we come into a chat, when we comment on the page, when we're posting on Facebook. Add value. Is that good? Everybody? Yay. Okay. All right. So now I do want to bring up, we are halfway through the month. Okay, and so with that, we have got 2 weeks left, and I talked to my coach today with corporate. Being an Emerald, I get a regional sales manager, and so I talked to him today. His name is Chris, and we were talking about some different things on our team, and he was like, what you should be looking at this month is senior silvers. And I was like, you are so right, because I was already thinking about that. It's awesome. So this month, the incentives that we have, guys, are double bonuses. We've got re-rank bonuses. We have consistency bonuses. And this month, that's all for the quarter. Then this month, they've also added double building business bonuses. So that means if you add 2 people, once you add 2 people this month, for every person after that, your building business bonus is doubled. So if you add 2 people and then the next person comes on, you get, instead of $20 for the welcome pack, you get $40. And guys, those are weekly paychecks. So if you need $100 real quick, bam, right? If you need $100 real quick, go sign up 4 people, and that's $80. I mean, that go sign up 5 people, and that's 100, right? So, or is that more? That's more, 120. Well, anyway, you can do the math. I'm not good at math, but you get what I'm saying. That is a weekly paycheck. So, guys, that's money you can have right now before the 15th of next month. Okay. Now, that being said, I want you to think about this. That being said, if you have somebody that's brand new that has never added anybody, they've not hit silver or anything, or maybe they've hit silver but they haven't hit senior silver yet. If they rank to senior silver, just their senior silver bonus, so those of you on the call that have not ranked senior silver yet, just your senior silver bonus, if it's a fast start, is $450. That's just the bonus for senior silver. That's not counting silver. That's not counting the business bonuses, points, none of that. $450, guys. If you are not in your fast start window, but it's your first time ranking to senior silver, that's $300. That is no joke. Like, you cannot get that on a normal day. That's like getting a fast start bonus for not even being in fast start window. $300. And if you hit senior silver before and you fell back and you re-ranked to senior silver, so that means you were senior silver, say in February, and then in March you went back to silver, and then you come back up this month to senior silver, that's $150 re-rank bonus. And so what I'm doing is an incentive for senior silver. So even if you are above the senior silver rank, you can still qualify for this incentive, because here's how it's going to work. If you add, I'm going to share my screen with you so I can show you what we're doing. So if you add 3 people, right now, if you add 3 people, level 1, you get this water bottle, super groovy. You fill it up twice. You drink all your water for the day, and it's pretty. Everybody oohing and ah. Okay. And then if you add another 3 people, your second 3 people, you are going to get this groovy, sandproof, waterproof beach blanket. Holds like 3 adults and 2 kids or something. It's huge, and it fits into like a little carrying bag. Okay. So if you get 6 people total, you got that and the water bottle. And if you get 9 people total, which would essentially be you hitting senior silver, right? You get 9 people total. You also get this really pretty beach bag to go with it. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. So I'm going to do a graphic on that, and I'll put it up on our team page. But I want to encourage everybody to go senior silver, and that's the next 2 weeks. So between now and the end of the month, we're going to go senior silver, okay? And I'm going to take the challenge as well, and I'm going to add 10 people too, okay? That's what we want to do. So you want to do that, let your people know that, especially, guys, go and have those conversations with your people that have not ranked up, and especially if they've already hit silver. Like, if they've already hit silver and they've already added some people, go back to them and say, hey, Julie, do you know that if you add just a few more people, you could have $450, or you could have $300 plus additional on top of that? Like, that's nothing to sneeze at. We're going into summer months. People need vacation money. I mean, that could be a plane ticket for somebody. That could be 2 extra nights at the beach or with their beach house. I mean, there's all kinds of things that $300 could mean to Julie, okay? So call them and just say, hey, and here's how I've been approaching it with people, is especially if they're ordering their products every month already. I just say, you know, hey, Valerie, did you know that you qualified for a stimulus package that Plexus has going on right now? I mean, I don't know about you, girl, but I did not want you to miss out on this. If you added just this many people, that would be an extra $400 for you this month. That's a huge amount of money at my house. I don't know what it is for yours, but could you use that this summer? Would $400 help you this summer for activities, vacation, whatever? Let me help you get that. That's all it is. That's your whole conversation. Okay, so pick up the phone, have that phone call, check on them. You should be checking on them for their products anyway. So call and have that product coaching conversation with them, and then say, hey, by the way, I did not want to hang up without letting you know that you have qualified for the stimulus package that Plexus has. And so if $300, $400, however many dollars that you think they need or whatever would be good for you, I would love to help you get that. It wouldn't be that hard. All you'd have to do is go ahead and get your mom and your sister on board. I know you said they wanted the products anyway, right? I mean, just, it's that kind of conversation. You know, I'm happy to help you talk to them. You can put them in a chat. We can call them together. However you want to, you know, progress with that conversation. But it doesn't have to be pushy of, hey, girl, come start a business, right? It's just, hey, let me help you get this money for this summer. Like, why would you not want that? It's free money sitting here, right? I would want that. And then speaking of, do any of y'all ever get on the One Plexus calls or like Welcome to Plexus or anything? So tonight, actually logged on, Helen McFadden was on, and she was talking about retention, and she asked a really good question. She said she asked this question. So I'm going to add it to the questions that we asked, but 4 questions you can ask when you're signing somebody up, right? Number 1, when do you expect to see results? When do you expect to see results? You don't necessarily want to ask them how fast, you want to say when, because that's the 2 different questions, right? When do you expect to see results? Number 2, are you committed to try these products for 60 to 90 days, and are you willing to be coachable and let me work with you? Are you willing to try these products for 60 to 90 days, and are you willing to be coachable and let me work with you? Because again, if they're not, you got a hiccup right there. You're going to have somebody fall off, right? And then the 3rd question, this is what I love that she said. She said, let me ask you, how are you planning on fitting these products into your everyday routine? Like, let's go ahead and get that out of the way of, oh, I forgot. Like, let's go ahead and coach them on, hey, when these come in, I want you to call me and go ahead and clear out a spot by your toothbrush to take them at night and in the morning, set an alarm on your phone. Like, let's go ahead, because life's going to happen, Valerie, and I don't want you to get busy and be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. And it's 2 weeks have gone by and you haven't started your products yet. So let's go ahead and figure out a game plan for you to fit them into your day before they even get there. That way you're already having these conversations with them. I thought that was excellent. When Helen McFadden said that, I was like, oh, I'm going to go grab a pen. I thought that was so good. So we want to make sure we're coaching our people, we're loving them, giving them that value so that they're staying on the products with us. We don't want to be scared to call them and check in on them. We want to check in on them. We want to know how they're doing. We want to be able to say, you know what, girl, I had never even heard of this problem. I didn't know you could grow a 3rd leg when you're taking Plexus, but let me call and find out. I will ask somebody about what to do about your 3rd leg. I will ask them, and we're going to fix it, girl, because, you know, you need these products and we want you to love them, and we're going to figure it out, okay? So you don't have to know all the answers. That's where we come in, okay? And so, Danielle's cracking me up. So,
at least you can run faster.
Do what? I told you was going to feel good with these products, sis.
I mean, it's improvement.
I love it. I love it. If y'all don't have any questions, I'm going to let you go. You've been amazing. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you've not had a coaching call with me this week, let's get together and have one. And I will see you guys on Monday night. Have a good one.